All right, guys, let's start. Who is the first presenter?
Try test.
Yosei, 聞く？
いや、でも聞かないと意思表示なの。
聞いてない。どっちでもあると思う。多少聞こえたけど。
何発表するんだっけ？で、ユースケース。
始まってる？おお。すごい、いろいろすごい時さ、誰だと思いますか？もしかして。もしかしてですよ、その。なんか音声エコーしてるみたいなんで、ちょっと工夫した方がいいかもしれないですね。
そうですね。
Ça, c'est bon. Can I start? Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I want to present about my use case study I've made. My use case was about the blockchain in real estate. As we made some research on use case studies, I've come out with the topic of blockchain in real estate. So the problem was this blockchain itself is, for example, it is easy to envision of how properties of all kind could be traded or
ヨダさんすいません。ちょっとですね、わかんないですけど、最後の映像からすると、向こうで停電みたいです。
それでか。すごいタイミングですね。
本当ですよ。びっくりです。今始まっていいとこだったのにって感じですね。
ですね。
ちょっと復旧するまで待機ってことになろうかとは思います。すいません。
ありがとうございます。
Hello. Patrice. Yamani. They are still there.
ヨ田さん、大丈夫ですか？
はい。停電ですか？
停電しちゃって、一旦もうネットワークも全部切れちゃったみたいです。今、復旧したので、大丈夫です。再開します。
はい。結構復旧早いですね。
そうですね、なんかよくわかんないですけど、とにかく復旧したので。
よかったです。いいですよ。やりましょう。
Sorry. There was a progress, and let's continue. So, I was investigating on this use case, and the problem it should solve.
Oh, using
Okay.
check. Oh my god. It's solved by using blockchain 間違いじゃない。
Problem solving using blockchain. Here, for example, with this new business model where you're connecting buyers and sellers. For example, I was talking about how it will be easy for properties of all kinds that could be traded like stocks on exchange. It will be fair to every buyers and sellers. There will be no brokers in the middle. And as I continue explaining, they have the problem solving of this blockchain also. For example, in real estate platform, to help to cutting out the additional inscription costs and loan fees, as well as property taxes, as all enforced by quantified smart contracts. So why blockchain in real estate? First of all, it will be cost efficient and better decision making in leasing transaction that can be achieved with shared database. Also, stakeholders, include owners and other service providers, can interact with ownership information or transaction history on open way in a secure way. It is also important how blockchain use could potentially revalorization the rental property payment. But there are still some challenges using blockchain in real estate. The first one, it is environmental cost. It is still expensive to use blockchain in this environmental because it requires some powerful computer and so on. Also, in order to prove that the user have the permission to write on the chain, they require high complex algorithm to run and which turns to large amount of computing power. I think that is the end of my presentation about the use case I've invested on blockchain using real estate. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Yeah, as you said, the real estate is one of the great industry which is appropriate for blockchain. And in addition, we can split the right of the own right to own a real estate, and we can own by several people. I mean, in the traditional way, the owner of a real estate is almost one person, but by using blockchain, we can split the rights of the owner, and we can, by using smart contract, we can pay the fee of the real estate, or as you said, the trade will be more effective, I guess. So, thank you, Patrick. Nice presentation. So, Patrick, could you choose a person who will present will speech next?
Okay, I'll choose Jules. He's ready. Jules.
Got it. Julesだよね。前も聞いた気がするんだよね。ユーラスかジューラスか。いや、ちゃんと書いてるよね。うん。
Evening. Hello.
Hi, you are Jules, right?
Yeah, I am Jules.
Okay. Please start.
Okay, thank you. The use case I chose, the project name is called Medicalchain. Medicalchain. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Okay, it is in the area of healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my name. Oh, actually, what will the project do? It uses blockchain technology to secure installing of health records of patients. So, actually, the main thing in this project is that no one will use the patient's record without the permission of the owner. He will give permission to doctors, hospital, laboratories, pharmacies, health insurance. They all have to request permission before accessing someone's records. So it is even possible that a doctor can treat you online, but you can grant him or her permission to do so. So the main thing here is to secure persons' health records. Here is the question that the project comes in to solve. The first thing is the misuse of patients' health records. As we know, normally, any people may be due to centralized system, someone can go in and grab someone's record and use it anonymously without the awareness of the records, and the owner have no idea of what is happening. So no one will use the record of someone's without accessing the permission, without having the permission from the patient. So this is how this problem is going to be solved. Another thing is the data integrity. So you may see that maybe from one hospital, they might have some data which is different from another hospital. And as we know, okay, I'm not an expert in medical, but I'm sure for the doctor to treat you in a good way, he or she should have your history, medical history, everything, all the records. So it would be better if your record are the same around all the hospitals. So through the instantaneous transfer of medical data, every member in the distributed network of the healthcare blockchain would have the same data of the patients. Here, the member, here I mean the hospitals, pharmacies, and so on, all things which are related in healthcare. Then here is why the use of blockchain, not any other system. The blockchain was introduced in this system to ensure that privacy of that data. And the privacy of the data should not be kept by someone else, but by the owner. This is giving the person or the owner of the record, here the patient, should bear all the things, or should be able to know if his data is being used by someone, for how long, things like that. Another thing should be more for the security. As we know, blockchain give more secure. Then the challenge is that the government is not going to be able to get access to all records for statistical things to plan for the future. It will not be that directly as they used to do. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was really great insight for the insight and insight and explanation about the problem and merits and demerits of the blockchain. And yeah, I think it's very useful. And I don't know the case in Rwanda, but in Japan, it's very unuseful to that. I have to talk to the doctors about my medical information every time I went to the different hospital. I mean, I went to a hospital and get some drugs, and I don't remember the name of the drugs, but when I go to the different hospital, I have to explain about the information about the drugs I was given by the hospital A. But for the doctors, they need the information, but I don't know all of my information. But if we store the data and the doctors or hospitals can share the data, then it's become more useful and effective. Also, in the blockchain, you can. Is the light stopped? Is it okay? Oh, maybe it's, yeah.完全に消えてた。You guys okay? Yeah, let's continue. Also, the medical data is very individual information, so very private information, so it's difficult to share. But if we use the blockchain effectively, then we can store the data anonymous and also the government or big organizations such as hospitals or research institute, they can get a huge amount of data of medical information without knowing that each data is without knowing that whose data is this. I mean, without reveal our private information, the medical institute can gather a lot of data and they can store and research about data more effectively. If they use AI and doing the big data research, then I think they can get more useful result of their research. So it's very useful. But as you mentioned, it's a little bit difficult to make people to store their data. So it's really, we need the collaboration with the government or such kind of big organization who have big who has big big organization and gather almost all of the data from the people. So it's a little bit difficult to realize, but 10 years later, I think it will definitely be used, I guess. So very nice presentation. Thank you, Jules.
Thank you, Tom.
So, Jules, who will be the next presentator?
Samuel.
Right.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, my use case is product authenticity using blockchain. Product authenticity. Yeah, why authenticity? Blockchain and commercial products. Yeah, in the real world, companies and producers make good product and get farmers on the market and you love it, but sometimes you buy fake products. We believed we we want a real product, but how can we prove that we are having a real product we need? That's where authenticity using blockchain can help us. Yeah, I mean, you can look beyond the label of the product. We can use blockchain to collaborate with industries. They store their products and they give unique ID in the system. Then when the user or the shopper get on the market and need to buy a certain product, yeah, when he's in doubt, whether the product is fake or original, he can look beyond the label and get the information already stored in the blockchain powered system, and he can see if that information is already in the system. That means the label and the brand name where the product is claiming it is from, yeah, it can match with that real information, or if it is not, the user or the shopper can recognize this is a fake product. That's a good way to identify fake and good product using new emerging blockchain technology. This can help us and grow the business with industries and bring peace of mind with as consumers, I mean shoppers. Yeah, we know how we can get our good product we wish and give the price we need, yeah, for the real and good product, not fake ones. But this is a real problem we face commonly all over the world. We can use blockchain to stop this or to overcome this. Yeah, that was the end of my presentation.
ヨダさん、マイクがミュートされてます。
Sorry, my mic was mute. Thank you, Samuel. Nice. All right. And yeah, as you said, the user of this project can check whether the product is real one or fake one, and it's very appropriate to the blockchain because the blockchain has the correct data always. And also, we can use blockchain, and the users of the blockchain can also check not only whether it's real or not, but also they can check the detailed collect information about the project. I mean, who made this product and where this product was made. And for example, Japan is a great country to make products, make great quality product. Like, so maybe if the product was made by a Japanese company, then people can trust the quality of the product. However, they trust that just the level of the product that shows that this is made by the Japanese company. However, they can check whether it is really made by a Japanese company and where it is made and who made it. So it's also become more. And one thing, if I add some features, also we can gather the information from the users or shoppers, like who bought the products and what kind of people are buying such products. And users can also send a review and how the product was to the shop or restaurant or any product makers. And the maker and the users can share the information each other, and they can also both of them can use effectively the data of each information through blockchain. So we can expand the possibility of this project more bigger and bigger. So this is also a great industry to use the blockchain. Thank you, Samuel. So who will be the next speaker?
Mr. Donut is the next. Donut is the next.
All right. Donut. Donuts. All right. So first part, donuts.論理とかじゃないの。俺もそう思ったけど、英単学いらないやつ。
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, my name is Donald, as you see on the top of slide. My use case is how we can adopt blockchain in logistics and the supply chain. So, of course, the area is logistics and the supply chain. Okay, so before we get started, let's first of all understand what is supply chain and what is logistics. So supply chain is the management of ups and downs of those of relationship between suppliers and the customers, so that the suppliers they deliver a good customer value to the customers. So logistics is part of the supply chain. It is a part of the supply chain that plans, implement, control, and the efficiency, and effective flow and storage of goods. So, what are the problems we have in logistics and supply chain? The first problem is it is difficult for customers to truly know the value of products because there is a lack of transparency between the suppliers and the customers. Another big challenge is the large amount of data associated with products or documentation of products may get lost within the entire supply chain. Another challenge is none of the parties share the information concerning the place of origin of an asset to determine quality. So those are the problems. Now, how can we solve them using blockchain? So as we know, transparency in the business make each and every business to be successful. Sharing true information between suppliers and the customers, that's the most key that make each and every business to be successful. So now, how can we create that transparency between suppliers and the customers? The best solution is using blockchain technology. Now, how blockchain is going to help us to create transparency between suppliers and the customers. Okay. These are the features that shows how blockchain will create transparency between suppliers and the customers. First feature is that blockchain opens access to information concerning the activity within the supply chain. The supply chain means between the suppliers and the customers. Another feature is that blockchain provides customers with the ability to evaluate product, services, supplier, carrier, etc. before making any decision. Another factor is blockchain provides the customers with information they want regarding the product origins and the trade route. It also reduces risk regarding to food or counterfeit goods. It also enables monitoring, tracking, and tracing transport. It simplifies exchange of goods and payment systems. So now, how blockchain can help in big supply chain and logistics. Actually, as we know, within larger amount of current shipping process, they need to write some papers, which somehow costly and bring errors within that processing. So using blockchain system, all information will be digitalized which enables all participants to get relevant data at the same time. So it also reduces risk and increase delivery quality. Moreover, it allows organizations to decrease amount of waste and the spread of defects. So blockchain is used for logistics by enabling synchronized audit trace between partners and optimizing them in real time. Briefly, I should recommend all companies to use blockchain technology because to build efficient relationship uh, with them and the clients. So I would like to thank this man, Binman Mani. He helped me in my research. And that is the end.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Donas. Yeah, that's a great presentation. And actually, the use case is a little bit similar to the Samuel's one. However, you explained well about the where and more deeply about the supply chain logistics. And so for all of the supply chain, it's very great barrier to know about the correct place of origin or the correct way to trade. So maybe in the future, the way to record the data of the trading will be completely different from the one we are using now. But I think the problem is that most of the company, the trade company has not great advantage to use blockchain as now immediately. I mean, imagine that they introduce the blockchain system to their trading system immediately. But I think most of the users or any laborers at now are not very unsatisfied with the current situation. And without the blockchain, they are used to the world without the blockchain. So it's a little bit difficult to let the companies to introduce the new system. However, the situation will change little by little, I guess. So the supply chain will be one of the industry the blockchain will be used, I guess also. Thank you, Donas. So, who will be the next, Donas?
Okay, the next presenter is Gershom.
Gershom. All right. Let's please start, Gershom.
Okay, hi. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Gershom and I'm going to introduce about the project of blockchain and registry system. Firstly, that what is what blockchain is. And blockchain is a mechanism to bring everyone to the highest degree of accountability. And in this system, I introduce more problems happening in the and in this system, I introduce more problems happening for the land registry. And this is the project definition where a blockchain land registry system will be a continuous list of land transaction records among peoples, institutions, society for a specific part or parcel of the land. And the land transaction information system will constitute a complete block, which is then linked like to a different block containing another set of land transactions. And this is, you might wonder how will work, how this system will work. This system will use what we call cryptography. As we introduce the array, cryptography is the study and practice of securing private messages so that they can only be read by intended parties. That means those information related to the land registry system will be read, the one who is interested. And it involves encrypting and decrypting content using various methods and encryption keys, as it was introduced in blockchain for the last lessons. So there are some problems for before starting think about this project. There's a current system in our country for the inheritance of the land, where Rwanda's laws provide opportunities for gender equality between daughters and sons. And customary, the problem here, the majority adult women in Rwanda, they have no legal protection of their right to property and native because there is no legal recognition of transitional cohabiting and polygamous unions. I mean, the unregistered marriage have to get the right to get the properties for dated. The registered content of all individuals lies in land prior to any land transfers as it is required by the government's land laws. And then this is the continuous of those problems occurred in the land inheritance. And here, recent land registration says have provided opportunity to document all individuals interested in land, but there are challenges with how to implement the right document without regarding registered marriage. That means in the blockchain, in the case that you introduce, as we thought earlier, in the case that you introduce multi-signature exchange services, that means the one who should have private key, security and exchange are the person you can trust only. If the person you can trust, so the private key, then the fraudulent. So there is a case where there's a case could happen if the gentleman
own a property and don't have any spouse or woman, then it is difficult for him to inherit his property because no family, no spouse, no children. That's why the blockchain could be used to need to somebody trust. And the blockchain also, a blockchain language system, will be used as a medium of rate transfer over for the fixed assets of the property. This could be done when property holders sell his property for certain amount of money to another. Exchange of properties, sometimes example given here, Harris rent a house, a car, from their bid. That means this will be this done for blockchain because blockchain could also record the financial transactions. And there are many transactions which could be held in this system. The answer to the systems to the problem stated above, and blockchain will offer innovative structure possibility to private sectors and government entities by providing any sort of opportunity to collaborate using common digital ledger. That's a short transaction history and real-time record status. And, also, this system will transform the governance. Many land agents worldwide are looking to lower implementation and operation costs while providing the highest level of data, integrity, security, and validation. This is the most problem the worldwide are looking at how to solve it. So I guess with this blockchain and cryptocurrency, cryptography, it will be able to handle these problems facing worldwide. I guess this is the summary of what I thought to do with the blockchain. So thank you.
Thank you, Gershom. Yeah, that's great. And in Japan, I think there are not so many programs on the land registration system, and its system is certainly established. However, I have never known that in Rwanda there is such kind of problems, and it's really great that not this problem is the one not that the foreign people cannot notice, and it's really the project only kind of you guys can engage in. So that's very new and excited viewpoint for me. And yeah, the land registry system to establish the land registry system with the blockchain is maybe similar to the registration of the real estate, and it can also be useful to store the data of the land and also transform the light of the landing system. Also, let me add some new viewpoints to you guys. I think you were talking about only the real land in this real world, but me and our model team is not only think about the land of the real world. I mean, we are thinking about the land in game or the virtual world. I think in the future, the land in the game industry will have value uh, value like the real runs, and I think it's very meaningful to create the registration system or trading system of the land or any data in the virtual world. So that's one point we really want to do. And uh, I I expect all of you guys to think such kind of more newer viewpoint and uh, original viewpoint as a people in Rwanda. So think as Gershom tried, think about the original program in your society around you, and think whether we can use a blockchain is very, very practical and it's meaningful to your society. So it was very good investigation. Thank you. So will be the next?
Patrice, the next.
Hashi? All right, thank you. So we start. Hashi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Isimwe, and I'm going to talk about my investigation case where the title is called eFarming. Is where I'm going to talk about the introduction of blockchain technology in smart farming. So let me continue. As an introduction, agriculture sector occupies 33% of the national GDP. So in our country, it is important to introduce technology in agriculture so that we can increase productivity. It will help our country to grow in form of food and export those foods outside the country in order to increase our economy. In general, Rwanda GDP has been growing at the rate of 7% since 2014. So let me continue. The philosophy behind this project is by using the IoT connected devices in the peer-to-peer architecture distributed all around farms, all around the country. We can collect information like weather situation, the use of fertilizers, and many information related to the agriculture, so that every node in that architecture can save those data in form of will be client, also it will be server, where we have more data distributed in many devices. An IoT-based smart farming, the system built on monitoring crops feed with web of sensor like humidity, temperature, and so on. So those information can help us to investigate how agriculture situation is in the situation where how agriculture is ongoing, so that any farmer in the country can know how information about another side of farming, so that he can know how he can increase their productivity. The next thing is this: how we can introduce blockchain and the special parts of the blockchain in smart farming. As we know, through cryptography, we can create an asset of transaction that is not easy to hack in the agriculture supply chains or agriculture activities. The first one of the interest of the blockchain in this system is that we can bring transparency to the supply chain between the food, the market, and also the suppliers of food, so that we can identify and remove those bad actors in the poor processes, which is currently we are suffering from. This idea, we will ensure the market from farm to the market, and you can pinpoint source the event of food safety outbreak. This will save the money, time, and also life of people. More benefits of introducing blockchain in this system is the first one is the traceability. This is how the existing system of buying foods in local areas. We are sure that these foods are fresh, where those foods are grown from, and are trusted because we are buying in a local market, in local area where we have. But if the market has become very big, even outside the country, because of this system, the problem we will raise is that the situation will be different, because we are not sure of that food if are safe. This project will solve that problem, because we prevent the food fraud, false labeling, and the redundant middleman. Also, we secure the transaction costs, because there will not be a middle staff that will help transaction between farmer and the market. The farmer will be directly to the market without the middle staff. Also, the next one, we open the new market. Where this market we reduce the need of evaluate each person individually because of the trust and ability to execute. Also, we will increase the logistics, where the dealing of products that have often very short shelf life will be also solved. And thank you. This is all about my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patsy. Yes. Yeah. When I went to the supermarket nearby my house, I found a vegetable with a description like this is made by Mr. Yamada, the great farmer. However, we cannot check whether it is really made by Mr. Yamada, and all the thing we can do is to trust the information. But with the blockchain system, and we can know really about the real information, and the food is really fresh. So it will be very useful to most of the food or farming system. And at the same time, but we have to think carefully that whether these system should be used, should be with the blockchain. I mean, I am not really sure, but some systems you said, like the weather information sharing system, is perhaps we do not have to use the blockchain, and the system without blockchain will be more faster and become useful. Maybe Cassie have also noticed that, but so you kindly explained us about the point why we have to use the blockchain, and the point, the merit of the blockchain will be like the more like for logistics and supply chain, and the check whether it is real. So always we have to think about whether we really have to use the blockchain, because sometimes blockchain is very transparency and secure, and more secure data systems, and it's useful. However, to maintain the system of the blockchain is a little bit slow, because we have to share the information to node which is distributed around the world. So it costs a lot, and this feature decrease the speed of the transaction of the data. So sometimes it's unuseful for some projects to use the blockchain. But yeah, as you said, for the food is certainly good to use the blockchain. So thank you for explaining. Thank you for your explanation about the investigation about the farming system. Thank you, Patsy.
Okay, thank you.
And will be the next.
Don't go. Nepo, are you ready? The Nepo is the next one.
Right.
Nepo.
Please start, Nepo.
うわ、やばい、知らないやつ来る。これマジでよくわかんなかったんだよな。何これ。
Hello?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nepo. I'm working about the cryptocurrencies blockchain as use case. Cryptocurrencies. Hello?
いや、ちょっとなんか声小さいですね。なんかあまり聞こえないんですけど。
こんな、国文少女のベンチャーこんなに。
何これ。
声っていうか多分、マイクの問題だと思います。
はい。
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
My case study is about cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies blockchain as use case. So, my name is Jean Pomsen. So, I tried to talk about blockchain technology in terms of digital money. So, first of all, I have to explain before, because some people are somehow confused about the Bitcoin and the blockchain. So Bitcoin is digital money, or is one kind of cryptocurrencies. So while blockchain is technology in which enable to transfer digital money from one person to another one. So why we use the blockchain? So we use blockchain because it's secured and the data is somehow, it's recorded the data for a long time. Also it is static. It's not easy to edit or to change the data which was recorded by blockchain. So also the cost of trust is too high, means that the blockchain is somehow trusted. When you use you do the transfer on the blockchain is somehow is trusted, is trustable. So also privacy is most important in the blockchain. So when you use it, when you use the blockchain in any transfer, your previous is somehow is trustable. So the system of blockchain is when you make the transaction on the via the blockchain technology, it takes short periods. So also it is cheap in the network. So the blockchain, the difference between the blockchain and the existing system, in terms of money or the existing system, the money was controlled by central bank, meaning that the central bank is those who give the permission to use the money. So also they use the fiat money or the paper money. So while in the blockchain, they use the peer-to-peer transfer. Also the money is digital. So means that in the blockchain, they are the decentralized system, while in the existing system is the centralized system. So merit of the blockchain so is transparent, so it's not required the administrator. So finance transfer is done without payment of the commission and so on. Also the transaction without fraud, so it cannot make the mistake because the blockchain records the truth information. So history of the transaction in terms of the money. So first of all, there was about the barter. So barter is about the exchange between the goods and services, or services and services. Means that you can give you give someone the services or goods, and also you can give the services also. Also, there was gold or silver coin. There are also paper notes or fiat money. Also, there are online banking and cryptocurrencies, which are new technologies. Why is the need for cryptocurrencies and blockchain? It is not what you think, because the reason of the why we need the blockchain is about the number which give the value of the money. So it is the number to give the value of the money. It's not about the paper or the anything. So this number is only one which can give the value of this paper. So unique number usually by central bank, as I talked before, the central bank is the owner of all the responsibility about the money, which are totally different from the cryptocurrencies. The problem of the papers, which is ready to be overcoming by the cryptocurrencies. The paper or fiat money is about the physical, but still expected to go in the world of the digital. Second one, Yeah, in a declared money means that it is affected the circulating or circulation of water supply of money when you are transferring the money by central bank. They have to keep some amount of the money in the bank. Also, it's about 25%, and 75% of the money they have to distribute to the community and the other banks which remain. So these also affect or decrease and the circulation of the money to the community. So if the central bank is supposed to print the new money. So, but when you are going to check about the printing the money, it's somehow expensive. It's affected the economies of some countries. So also there are the problem of the fiat money is about the fake money. So the fake money, you see here, when the number which indicate the true money is not indicated, it's not easy to differentiate it from the true money and fake money. So that is the problem also. But this number, this sales number is tracked by central bank. So the solution is only one, is about blockchain, is to apply blockchain. Blockchain as digital ledger in which transaction made in Bitcoin or in other cryptocurrencies are recorded chronologically and publicly. So here you see how the blockchain algorithm are built. So how blockchain works. So in few words, the blockchain is working about in a transfer money is peer-to-peer, means that transfer money from one person to another one without any administrator. Means that if this guy is ready to transfer the money to this one, it is only to send on the computer, the system which work on the blockchain is only who in which can assist work to transfer the money from A to B. So without any intermediate. So cryptocurrencies in the form of the coin means that how can you get the money from cryptocurrencies? So here is about the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin as mother of the cryptocurrencies. It was invented by this guy, Satoshi Nakamoto. I mean, a story that is from Japan, but I'm not sure. So also there are new cryptocurrencies, which are known as Bugs Coin, which are new. It was invented in this year around 5 months ago. How Bitcoin gets its value? Bitcoin value comes from a community agreement to form the set of the protocol and are backed by everyone who uses them as money. So here is about how the Bitcoin has get the value until today, because its value was coming from 0.01 to but today it's about 665,000 euro. So what's benefit in this year? What was the benefit from the internet? So it was about the e-commerce like Amazon and Alibaba, social media, Facebook, and cryptocurrencies. So here I can talk more about this one because about the value from the start of the Bitcoin until today, until 2015. This is about the new cryptocurrencies. So here, today we have many cryptocurrencies, about 1,596. So this is the list of the cryptocurrencies in this world. So here is about the Bax coin, which was invented by Moshe Jamel from UK. So he made about new cryptocurrencies. So his cryptocurrencies is working in new technology, which is blockchain, but we've worked in a new generation with 3G, generation 3 blockchain, generation number 3. So while the Bitcoin was done in generation number 1, Ethereum and Omni was done in a blockchain generation number 2. What is the importance of blockchain or fast blockchain? So there are some or a company or the people, group of people who will get the benefit from this new technology. Here is e-commerce, like Amazon, who can get 2.4 million transactions per day, and eBay, which get 1 billion transactions per day. So there is no new technology can use this. You can count this transaction. It is only the blockchain. The challenges which was faced on cryptocurrencies or blockchain. So some country was not accept this technology. Business owners are not accept the cryptocurrencies. In general, the main challenge is misunderstanding and ignorance of the blockchain by some people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Actually, I think the most of the project using blockchain is just a demonstration stage. And however, there is one project which is succeed. I think the only project which is succeed with blockchain is Bitcoin at now. And Bitcoin is already used by people all over the world. And the Bitcoin has value because the community believes that it has value. And it's same as the money we have. Here is the 1,000 yen by paper money, and this is created by the Japanese bank. And why is this? The reason why is this paper have value is that Japanese people and people around the world believe that it has value. This, in reality, this is just a paper, and only thing I can do is almost nothing. However, because the people believe and the nation says this has value, so this paper money has value, and the Bitcoin is almost same. If the people all over the world believe the value of the Bitcoin, then the value of the Bitcoin exists, but the value of the Bitcoin continue. And we can we can use the Bitcoin in the real world. For example, I have some Bitcoin and I paid by Bitcoin in order to stay in hotels or in order to eat food in some restaurant. So Bitcoin has already value to use in the real world. And as you mentioned, there are a lot of alternative coin. More people think that it's advanced from Bitcoin because the transaction speed and because of the data the block can include. So there's a possibility that all of the coin which is not Bitcoin will be great value in the future. However, no one can know which coin will be the uh, one which has the biggest value in the future. And maybe 5 years ago or 8 years ago, no one thought that Bitcoin will have great value. So perhaps another any coin will be greater value than now, but it's you have to have your own responsibility to buy the cryptocurrency, and the cryptocurrency can be no value if the people do not believe the value of its coin. So I don't deny the people who buy new coin without the value, but you have to have your own responsibility for buying the new coin. But I think the Bitcoin is not enough, and we have to check the new technology which will improve the cryptocurrency. And I think, in my opinion, the world currency will be the best use case of the blockchain. Actually, we have yen and dollars, which is very stable. However, some fiat currency is unstable, and if the people could share one cryptocurrency, then it will be useful, and it will be more, it will have good impact on the society. So we have to keep checking what will be the next global currency. And if some of you are interested in, then perhaps one of you could be the creator of global cryptocurrency. Thank you. It was you gave us great insight for the cryptocurrency again. Thank you. So who will be the next presenter?
Hello, everybody.
Okay, Ali. Hi.
Man, let's get the sun plus. Okay. This is my slide. Hello. It's okay. Yeah. Actually, I made a research about education. I came to realize that a lot of people, we lost the taste of education and the quality of education. So I say, what about creating a chain, a blockchain about education for especially young graduates and the researcher and scholars and academicians? That's why I entitled my project Educhain, which is education and blockchain. A great man once said, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And as you can see, as a lot of people, we've been lazy. We are becoming lazy due to some facilities. You may go on different projects people are doing in their university studies. They just take a given project of a given person, they copy it and they put it in their own project. They entitle that project their own project. But I came to realize that as blockchain, is one among its merit is transparency. There's an easy way of making sure that the given person do not copy the work of another person. Once we are using blockchain in education, it's going to make sure that the education is becoming broad, the education is having a great quality, the education is involving everyone, and it's implement even innovation and creativity and researches. As long as people are researching for the betterment of their project, they are going to make sure that their project is outstanding. And after that project is outstanding, people are going to agree with it and maybe implement and move on after the research and make it very feasible or very realistic. But once we don't have education of quality, this is what happened. People are going to procrastinate, and instead of working on their given project, as they know that, okay, I'm going to copy a given work from a person from the United States of America, I'm going to make a copy from the person of China, from Europe, from South Africa, from any country. He's going to procrastinate. He's not going even to work for his project or for any given project he has to present on his final graduation or for a given project he's doing. That is the effect of the bad education. And after that, when it's coming the time to work, he's going to copy. He's going to take the work of some other person and he's going to copy it and entitle it, it's his work. He's not going to care about the copyright or even the work the person took while he was presenting or searching about that work. And this is our current education system. Our current education system, as you see there, we are entering in the education system while we have all the good abilities, our ability to search and everything. But when we are coming out as donkeys. We do become lazy, we don't even research, we don't read, we do nothing regarding a good education quality. That is the current education system which we have to fight. And it's not only in my country, in Rwanda or in Africa, it's all over the world. A lot of people use just Google, Wikipedia, they do not research. And this is the system I would like to create. I would like to create a blockchain about education, which is going to put in common the different scholars, the different scientists, the different graduates. Just in brief, it's going to be an academic blockchain encyclopedia, whereby you will go there and you will get the works for each and everyone. You are going to get the works for which are very useful. You are going to get the works from which you can implement your project and make it very sustainable and even productive in the future, which can facilitate the life of the community in any aspects. This is that kind of blockchain, because as you see, it's a system which is decentralized. It's decentralized. Each and everyone from any corner can get the information from each and anyone from another corner. It's just the matter of allowing the accessibility. And once we are done with that, we are going to have a very great quality of education. And the people who are going to get that education are going to be proud of what they have been achieving, because they know that the work they've been doing, it's not the same as in the previous years. Because even here in my country, some people are in their last year of graduation, that they just go there, they sit, and they give just some money to other person so that they can write the books for them, they work for them, and they give to them, get everything for them. But we want to create a system that is going to make the education sustainable. And after that sustainability of the education, people are going to be proud of what they accomplished in their education system. Thank you, arigato, merci, asante, murakoze.
MURAKOZE. Thank you. Yeah, so we can share the education information or education curriculum with people around the world. And actually, we can share the education system in the traditional internet system at now. So we have video lecture, we have like the video university. So we can do education system in traditional internet system. However, if we use blockchain, then we can share or transfer the value, or we can have the authorization of each curriculum. So, for example, think the situation that you will create a curriculum or some video to teach and share it in the internet. However, if we use blockchain and create a system like the user use the video or the curriculum on the blockchain, then the teacher or the teacher will have real value from the users with the cryptocurrency network, and it can transfer the real value or more correct information between the students and teachers. So that's really nice for the education and grade system. So thank you, Aaron.
Okay, thank you.
So how many people are left?
Adma. Some. Good.
あと2人。
Hi. So who will be the next?
時間大丈夫です。
まあ、大丈夫です。
はい、すいません。
どうしようかな。もうこれで一旦クリプトドリームやらせてから締めを考えるつもり。けどもいい感じで、ちょっと待って。いいよ。
すいません、今ちょっと局地的な停電が起きて、 10%だけ停電するみたいな感じになっちゃって、ちょうど発表予定だった2人がデスクトップを使っていて、で、今パソコン再起動してるので、はい、何かこの隙に言うべきことがあればお願いします。
言うべきこと。Okay. Let me share my window. Yeah, I prepare one slide. This is my opinion about the advantage of the blockchain. In short, blockchain has 4 great and advantage. One is temper resistance. The 2 is prevents double spending, and number 3 is result administration, decentralization, and number 4 is smart contract. And because the blockchain has temper resistance, the stored data and history has correct information, and it will be very useful to several industries or any data storage system. And the second, because blockchain can prevent double spending, so we can transfer real value in the network. Just with internet, we can share the information with everyone, but we cannot share real value without centralized organization. Because we can prevent double spending, we can transfer real value and share the value. So that's great point. And the third point is that because the blockchain is distributed, the data will be more reliable and secure, and also sometimes we can cut the cost. And after the appearance of the Ethereum, the Ethereum enable us to use smart contract on the Ethereum on the blockchain. Then we can make contract automatically, and in the future society, this smart contract will be used in everywhere. I mean, if we have the IoT society and more AI will be active in our real society, then the smart contract will be necessary, and the smart contract will be used everywhere, I guess. However, at now it's a little bit difficult to implement the smart contract or any blockchain system in the real world. So this phrase is to understand more and get the skills more about the blockchain and think how we can implement the blockchain to the real world. And let me share again about our project mode. I mean, because you've learned a lot of things about the blockchain, and we will have deeply understanding about our project. And if you read the website or blog from our website, then you can know well about our project. And there is the English some articles which I write some of the articles here. This is the article I wrote it, and I explain about why blockchain is useful. And as the distributed system, why blockchain is very have great possibility. We have a lot of distributed system, actually. A lot of, almost all of the software or any application is maintained, distributed. However, it's really difficult to synchronize well and maintain the consistency of the nodes in the distributed system. However, if we use a blockchain system, then we can easily maintain the consistency of the information. So that's the point why the blockchain is very useful. And I explained more in detail about the advantage of the blockchain here, so you can check it. And also, if you think about the project, one of the things you have to think carefully is that what kind of blockchain you have to use. I mean, this is the point. This is the really point I thought carefully when I started mold our project. Oh, there's no English version. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Here is the article I write it about the comparison of several types of blockchain. Like there's 3 types of blockchain: public, private, consortium. Public chain is something like the more private one. No, private chain is the more private one. You have created your own private chain of the Ethereum on your computer, so you can imagine that the private chain. But private chain includes a chain which is maintained by one organization, one centralized organization. So some company can choose private chain in order to maintain the system. And then now, the decentralization, the feature of the decentralization will be disappeared. However, the speed, I mean the transaction speed or scalability will be greater than public chain. So it has some advantage to use private chain or consortium chain. So we have to understand well about the difference between several types of the chain. And again, let me talk about our project mode. Mode aims for the decentralized game platform, so there will be no administrator to maintain the game platform. So all of the users can contribute to the operation of the platform. Then, by using the blockchain, I mean, without the blockchain, the users cannot own the items of the game, items in the game. As I said, the land is one of the data in the game, and also any items or monsters or characters in the game will be real asset. Real will be the asset with real value, I guess. So, and by using this kind of the blockchain and decentralized platform, the gaming world will totally be different from the current one. And I'm so excited to use blockchain for gaming. And some project is a little bit difficult to difficult for many users or all of the people around the world to use the blockchain. However, in the gaming industry, it's more close to the users. The application is more close to users, and users do not have to understand about the system of the blockchain. But the behind of the system, the blockchain is completely move, and users will, without the conscious of using, they can use blockchain. And so the gaming industry will be the first or the early use case. It will be great use case earlier than any other project. And I think not, I mean, I'm honored to develop such kind of great use cases for the blockchain. And with developing the blockchain for the game industry in usual time, I'm also thinking about how we can use the blockchain for the other industry. And your speeches are very meaningful for me too. So thank you for everyone, and I like to listen more to the rest of you guys' presentation again. So who will be the next?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. My name is Shadrach.
Shadrach,
Yes. My user case is the price negotiate Agri chain. So I decided to choose this user case because they are in Rwanda. Don't know the problem. Yeah, it's muted. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. So
Yes.
my use case is price negotiate Agri-chain. So I decided to use this negotiate because here in Rwanda there is some the problem which a trial that cannot get the price real from the agriculture or farmer. So I decided to do this user case price negotiate Agri-chain because of that problem. So introduction to this user case. So as you know, the blockchain has many importance in every sector. So there is many importance in this agriculture sector, which is can join or use to understanding the source and the journey of the produce of uh, crops. So by using this price negotiate Agri-chain user case, the farmer can get better to negotiate the prices with the trader. So while are giving some the if there is any crops which are going to be in the market, it can be better to introduce the trader to come and they know the price in real time. That can be increase the some trader to go in the market to buy. So why this blockchain needed here in Rwanda? So I know the agriculture industry is the more powerful here in Rwanda because more than 70 percentage people in Rwanda are in this sector. So the most of people they need to know the price of some important crops they need to buy because if they can go in the shop they can get the high price, but if they can know the price from the farmer can be easy the tailor the seller to get or to go to the market to know the price. So this could be increase some money or develop the GPO of the Rwanda country by because the many people can interested to buy some crops because they know their price. Blockchain in this sector of agriculture has some content or there some ocean can do the transparent transaction, smart contract or data monitoring of that crops where the farmer can monitoring the data or show how the crops is or are, so you can know how you can make a smart contract with seller and buyer and farmer, which can be easy to know how to buy that crops easy. Nowadays, there is ways used to buy that crops, so where the seller and buyer meet face to face. This is have many impact because there is some problem the buyer can meet where the seller can increase the price of crops. It depends on the many different reason. It can cause the seller to not interested to buy some crops because the price is expensive. So if the seller can know the price of every crops in every country, they can know where they can buy that crops in retail price. This can be help the seller to be interested to buy that crops because it's inexpensive. So the blockchain can resolve this problem because they can monitoring uh, um, every prices of the crops in one server or it's a crowd where I can easily everyone can know the price of that crops. There is another bad impact on the side of the buyer because if the seller or buyer they need money but they don't get enough seller. A seller can decrease the price because the buyer need money now. So if the buyer know the price in all country, they can help them to maintain the price of the crops, which cannot be affected by the little price. So there is the issue resolved by this blockchain, where the agriculture is the most significant, where than 60 percentage in this country and in this sector for agriculture. But those most people in this sector also are the poor, which can be easy a seller to give them the little price because they need money. So by using and the government, yes, yeah. So this, yeah. So let me continue. By this blockchain can be another good for using make contract or payment by from the seller who can buy some crops by using online where the buyer can send to them or to seller the crops by using by make payment by online and where the seller can get the payment and the crops by easy. But let's take an example. Some teller can make uh, they can buy some crops by online. Where can the buyer can send to him or her the crops and give the payment by easy and in little time or by in short time. So why do you need this blockchain? So as you see, there is many problems this blockchain can resolve. So by using negotiate by price and give it to him some payment and give them contract because the trader can tell the farmer I need these crops, but the crops is not in good where they can be on where they can go on the market. So the trader or seller can make a contract with the farmer which can tell him or her if this crops is ready to be in the market, I'm ready to buy this. So this contract it can be easy to make it by using this blockchain. So this can be easy to make to pay and monitoring the crops on the online. So this price negotiate Agri-chain is very needed here in Rwanda. It is not only in Rwanda, it is in the world. So this is how the benefit and how it works by using the online. So it can be easy to use every smart device technology. It can use a website or application where everyone can be easy to access this data on the online. So it is easy to sell and a buyer. So it can be easy to know if they have money. You can go on the dashboard or the website to see which crops they have ability to buy. Let's take an example. It can be potatoes, it can be cassava, because it depends on the demand they see on the dashboard. So which can be easy to buy it. If they see there's no enough money to buy this, can buy another crops which have the money to buy it. So this can be easy and it can be faster because if the seller can be at home and buy something online from some area and in little time can get the crops by using the some company have the ability to transfer something in little time. So in this graph or drawings, as you see, farmer, producer, distributor, and retailer, seller or consumer. So the farmer can know where the terror seller are and which of the crops are ordered. It depends on you see the money the crops buy and make some transaction, and the distributor or deliver item can take these crops and deliver to the tailor in a time. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you. Well, yes, it was great investigation, and the point that the blockchain can link more directly with the end users and the farmers. I mean, the people who eat the food do not understand that there are a lot of meditate traders between the farmers and the people. So if we could link more directly, and if we could show the more transparent data about how much the farmer gain from the food, then the problem that the farmer cannot gain a lot of the money from by selling the food will be solved. And as you said, that most of the people around the world are engaging in agriculture industry, and it will be one of the solutions to solve the poor problem in the world. And the people who will solve such problem will not like me. I'm not the professional of the agriculture, and I don't really understand of the real situation in the agriculture industry. But maybe you know more than me about the real situation, and now you also have the knowledge of the blockchain, and you can adapt the technology to your real society. So yeah, I really think that it's not me, it's you that who will solve such problems. So thank you. Thank you, Shadrach.
Thank you too.
So we have to do quickly for rest of 2 persons. Yeah. So who will be the next? CryptoDreams 하드웨어 보니까 약간 지라에 강갔어요.
Hey. Hey.
Yes.
I'm Patrice. I'm going to make some samples for what I search in my project called CryptoDreams Hardware Wallet. First of all, I'm going to talk about on the goal of this blockchains. The goal of the CryptoDream is to provide a multi-purpose device that handle various tasks associated with cryptocurrency and blockchains. This is the best goals of these CryptoDream hardware wallets. This one have some more devices can be used in its blockchains. Those those devices have hardware components, one board, PICO, PIMI, software app and online service, Google Android Things, Google Firebase session, GIUI, graphical user interface. Another one, now I'm going to focus why these blockchains. This is a question anyone can ask themselves. The CryptoDream hardware wallet is proof of concept prototype showcasing Android things running on every nice PICO, PIMXIU. It is used to it uses a combination of built-in Java code as well as Firebase function and real-time database to provide a custom cryptocurrency hardware wallet. Here for this one, it focused on it built by using a code in Java language. By building this one, Dreamwell hardware wallets. The challenge of this project is using supply code and the Google service that wallet service the wallet can receive transaction using an IP. We can similarly a device-to-device transfer by using Postman and crafting an IP code to our Firebase function. The function store in transaction and amount into a function. A function is built by using a Java code, as I say above. The crypto wallet has called block that check if there is a new item added to the database. This crypto wallet, it check if there is any devices or items that are entered in wallets and see if there is if it arranged well in those wallets. When it detects the new transaction recorded, it displays the result on the screen of the users to acknowledge. Thanks. This is a summary what I searched because of time.
Thank you. Yeah, nice. The wallet system and we have focused on the blockchain itself, but Patrice focused the technology around the blockchain, and it's more practical, I guess. I mean, if there is no, there are a lot of company engaging in blockchain technology, but the company who have great product at now is the company who have wallet or exchange of the cryptocurrency or payment system of the cryptocurrency. Like, I mean, the products or software around the blockchain has also great potential and possibility. So to think about the wallet or hard wallet is very nice point. And I think if you do not have the famous wallet in your country, then to create wallet by yourself is one way to do your own project, I guess. And thank you for, yeah, thank you for your great presentation.
Thank you.
So the next one is the last one, is it?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this time. My name is Mageza.
Magzado?
Yeah.
Okay.
My study case is blockchain, how it could improve election transparency. Okay, I will not cover all because a little bit I've seen how I've searched what is blockchain, and I find those definitions which say that it is a digital ledger in which transaction made in a Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies are recorded chronologically and publicly. Also, it is a decentralized technology. A global network of a computer uses blockchain technology to jointly manage the database that records Bitcoin transactions. I've also seen some merits of blockchain. There are so many, but I have covered the three, which is the intermediation. The intermediation means that the core value of blockchain is that it enables a database to be directly shared without a central administrator. And also it has also another merit, which is the empowered user. It means that the user are in control of all their information and the transaction. Also, I've seen high quality of data in the blockchain. Data are complete, consistent, timely, accurate, and widely available. So there are so many merits like durability, reliability, and longevity, process integrity, transparency, and immutability, and so on. There are so many. I've also seen the merit of blockchain. The major demerit is the performance. Due to big number of accounts, there is for transaction to be processed, a blockchain has to do all the same things just like a regular database does, but it carries three additional burdens as well. There is a signature verification. It has to do that verification to make sure that the transaction is genuine, I say like that. This means that every blockchain transaction must be digitally signed using a public-private cryptography scheme, such as the ECDSA. This is necessary because transaction propagate between nodes in a peer-to-peer fashion, so their source cannot otherwise be proven. The generation and verification of these signatures is computationally complex and constitute the primary bottleneck in a product. I've seen also another demerit, which is the consensus mechanism. In a distributed database such as blockchain, effort must be expended in ensuring that nodes in the network reach consensus. There is also redundancy. This isn't about the performance of an individual node, but the total amount of computation that a blockchain requires. I've also seen what is the difference between blockchain and another existing system. Under the technology that was used in the West, I've seen, my case was about election in West Virginia, and I saw some, the system they used before, they use voter using biometric tools like a thumbprint scan before voting on a mobile device. Each vote forms part of a chain of votes where it is mathematically proven by the third-party participants. By using a blockchain, all data of the election process can be recorded on a publicly verifiable ledger while maintaining the anonymity of voters with the result available instantly. So a blockchain also is a write-only data structure where new entries get appended onto the end of the ledger. There are no administrator permissions within a blockchain that allow editing or deleting of data while existing systems. So my case, of course, was how blockchain could improve election transparency. In my case, was done on West Virginia State in USA to allow internet voting by blockchain in a primary election. This has improved election transparency through mobile voting using a safe and tested interface that could eliminate voter fraud and boost turnout. It is being able to be verified by all parties, yet allowing the voter to remain anonymous. The question which I also talked about was what problem the use case solve and how. The problem were transparency and very low percentage of voters when they vote. It has made it more convenient for citizens to vote while abroad, irrespective of the distance and the time. It is also beneficial tools for the election commission to maintain transparency in the electoral process, minimize the cost of conducting election, streamline the process of counting votes, and ensure that all votes are counted. At a time when elections, even in advanced democracy, are tainted with allegation of fraud or outside influence, use of technology to eliminate rigging is imperative. Why the use case need that blockchain is introduced. Using blockchain, all data of the election process can be recorded on a publicly verifiable ledger while maintaining the anonymity of voters with results available instantly. What is the challenge when introducing blockchain to the use case? The use case of transparency in voting. It was creating awareness. Some challenge was creating awareness among the government officials and build the chronological capability for making a possible technology-driven, transparent electoral process. Put in place description for adopting electronic transmission ballots, including privacy, security of election process, security of the voter's computer, denial of service attack, voter coercion, auditability, authentication, and inconvenience for the local election official. This is my presentation about transparency in election. Thank you for your time, and I think we will continue to improve just to know about the blockchain in deep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, election will be the best, one of the great use cases, and now we have no way to notice or find whether the outside organization have changed the information of the bottom. And also, in Japan, also we go to the what's that? The building for election and write on the paper about the name of the candidate, and it's very waste of time, I guess, also. And using internet voting will be in the society, and it will increase the percentage of the number of the people voting. So it certainly, the blockchain will help to create such more sophisticated system for the voting. Yeah, it was nice viewpoint, I guess. Thank you, Max.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for your presentation. And actually, all of your presentation was beyond my expectations, and actually yesterday I checked the answer of the Google form. You wrote it in day one, I mean 2 weeks ago, and there is one question like, what is the blockchain? What is the advantage of the blockchain? But most of you could not answer about it well. But now it seems that almost all of you have very deep understanding about the blockchain, and you know by listening for others' presentation, then you have great knowledges about several industry using with blockchain. So maybe you could have great knowledge and skills for blockchain compared to the start of our lesson. And I'm very honored to teach you. And I really hope some of you will start your own project with blockchain, and I'm really willing to help you if you want to start your own project, and I will advise you anytime, anything. And yeah, actually, I really want to meet you in reality, and I wanna join the after party. Yeah, but it's so far away from here, and maybe it takes more than 20 hours from Japan to Rwanda, and it's so far. But I'm really happy to meet you here, and I'm very happy to have time to think about the future of our society together. And however, not only you, but also me are not enough. Me also don't have enough ability or knowledge to create new project in our society. So I will keep running and keep thinking how we can create better system. So I hope both of you, I and you, and we will continue to think and learn about the blockchain together. So thank you for everyone to join our lecture. And actually, Mr. Ota posted the Google form, the final Google form. It's like it's more like just impression of our lecture. So please fill in the Google form at last and tell me if you want to improve your skills, improve your knowledges more. I will advise anytime. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy your night.なんていうの？ありがとうって。ありがとう。ありがとう。なんて言うんでしたっけ？
MURAKOZEです。
MURAKOZE。MURAKOZE。MURAKOZE。See you.
Patriceさん、お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。
すいません、ちょっとなんか、めちゃくちゃオーバーしちゃいましたけど。
いや、こっちはまあまあいいけど、大丈夫、会場の方とかは。
大丈夫です。はい、許してもらいました。
ありがとうございます。はい。
これくらいなら、はい、大丈夫です。
はい。あとはまあ、明日の発表だけど、内容が今日と同じ人もいるだろうし、